You know, as president, you said you would sign an executive order, and it's called the Blind Side Initiative. Kind of prevents president and vice president's children relations. So talk a little bit about that and why it's so important and how you would do that.
Well, that's one of the many things I intend to do when I become president, but it's to sign an executive order to stop all this graft, all this Hunter Biden stuff, Jared Kushner stuff. This is nonsense. And I'm going to be sitting down with my lawyers to make sure we can do it consistent with the First Amendment. But there's got to be something done about this. Harry Truman said, if you go into politics poor and you come out rich, you're stealing. Also, I am proposing an amendment to fix spending to a certain percentage of the GDP, with exceptions for war and for natural disaster. And that's because, as you well know, I've been around long enough to know every now and then there's this standoff about the raising the debt ceiling. And you and I both know, Governor, they're going to raise the debt ceiling because nobody wants to be responsible for the consequences about what would happen if we defaulted on our debt. Similarly, nobody wants to shut down government anymore when we have a budget standoff, because a party that's perceived to be at fault will lose a coming election. So nothing gets done. The only way to restrain spending is to force the politicians to reform, and that's by law. The so-called entitlements programs. Even Bill Clinton used the word unsustainable to describe them. Barack Obama used the word unsustainable to describe them. Why then does nothing happen? Because the number one objective of most politicians, present company included, of course, is to get elected. Number two is to get reelected. And you don't get elected running to reform major programs, take stuff away from people. The other side will accuse you of not caring about the poor, the sick, the elderly. So the only way to reform this is to force them to do it.